Si quieren asistir a este video en español, clic en el link en la descripción.
Hi guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Thales and I'm from Plugin. And at this channel, we always are trying to bring you guys new cars and new calibrations. And today I'm gonna bring you a calibration for a 2023 Jeep Compass. The guy who recorded this is my partner Fernando, and he is the one who makes the videos in Spanish. So if you guys want to watch this video fully in Spanish, you guys can check the link below where we attached the video and you guys can access there. So today we're gonna bring something a little bit different. This is gonna be a dynamic calibration, which means that we're gonna need to drive the car while we are performing the calibration. So there's sort of a self-learning from the software, okay? And in this case, we will need to connect to the internet. So we will need an internet connection that is stable to do this calibration, because we will need to have access to pass through the gateway of these Stellantis brands. For the ones who doesn't know, Stellantis Stellantis group of brands are the group who owns Fiat, Alfa Romeo, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and some other brands. If you guys want, I will put the link in this description, and you guys can check this out. But today we will just walk through this calibration, and I will explain you step by step of how you guys do it. And if you guys want to, please comment below that if you guys want that we explain you how we can have access and do this gateway, because this just requires a subscription on auto auth, if I'm not mistaken. And this subscription just costs a couple of dollars that you can pay yearly. It's not a big of a deal, and you're gonna be able to make uh, a big range of different brands which belongs to Stellantis. Okay, so let's start the calibration to watch the calibration right now. So here is my friend and partner Fernando, who is recording this video. So here, as always, they put what happened to the car. So this car has the windshield cracked, and they replaced the windshield, and we need now to do the lane departure recalibration. Um, every time when you replace a windshield, it's mandatory that you do a calibration, because always when you reinstall a new windshield in the car, the camera will not be at the same position always, and it's always a good practice and a good standard to do a recalibration after replacing the windshield. So here he's just reading and showing that the car has the windshield replaced. So right now he's gonna show you guys the windshield. So this is the brand new windshield. There's a blue tape on top just to keep the windshield at the right place while the glue is drying, okay? Because otherwise, if we don't put this blue tape, the windshield will go down a little bit. This might affect the calibration or might affect the look of the windshield in the car. So it's always good and a good practice to keep this blue tape for a couple hours until the glue dries. Um, so Fernando is showing here. Let me just go back a little bit. Um, so I don't know if you guys can see here really well, but at this part right here, right in front of the rear view mirror, if you're looking from outside, right here, there is where the lane camera is located on the vehicle, okay? So Fernando is pointing the lane camera, and now he's gonna erase everything. So he's showing the make and model of the vehicle. Again, it's a 2023 Jeep Compass, and he's going. So right now he's getting inside the car and he's plugging the VCI before everything else. VCI turn it on. He's wearing Crocs, as you guys can see there. Okay. Um, okay, so right now the tablet will connect with the VCI and will detect the brand, make, model, and year automatically. So let's wait. So he selected. Oh, so here you guys can see an example of some of brands that belong to Stellantis. So here we have Chrysler, Dodge, Fiat, and Jeep. There's other like Maserati, Alfa Romeo that are not here but also belongs to Stellantis, okay? Um, okay. So as a practice, Fernando will add the license plate, and we always do like license plate dash the date, or if the car doesn't come with a license plate, we put the last eight of the VIN number dash the date. This is good to keep a practice and keep it simple whenever you guys need to search for a car that you did that someday, or maybe a car comes to your shop twice and you did the same car but on different dates. It's going to be easier to have access to the information of the last service you made on the car or the previous services, okay? So Fernando right now is connecting to the internet. Make sure you have a stable internet, otherwise you won't gonna be able to have access to the gateway of this car, and you won't gonna be able to do a scan of the car, okay? So he's doing the process of connecting. Right now he's gonna add the license plate and the date. So let me, yeah, so he put the date, and now the tablet is connecting to the VCI. So here you read the VIN number, and then right now it gives, actually I said 2023, but it was my mistake. It's the same system, but it's a 2024 Jeep Compass, okay? And here's the VIN number. Okay, so right now it's asking to ensure the normal diagnosis. Please ensure that it is properly connected to the network. So this is something that I already said to you guys. Tap change can change account. So here we already have the auto auth connected to the tablet. If you guys are doing this for the first time, it's gonna be a different process. But if you guys ask for, we can bring a video to you and show you guys how you guys can do the login and connect to this gateway provider, and we can give all access to you guys, okay? So he's gonna type okay. Now he's communicating with the internet. So system data is loading, it's initializing, then it's loading. Let's move a little bit forward. Then 100% system is initializing. Um, Establishing vehicle communication. Let's move a little bit forward. So, now here, so Jeep already read the information of the car, but you need to manually always input the license plate. And on Jeep's case, you will also need to put the mileage or the odometer of the vehicle, okay? So Fernando is typing the license, uh, odometer. So he's reading. Okay, let me go back a little bit, sorry. Oh, this is a brand new car, 428 miles. Okay, so in our process, we don't attach any photos on the pre-scan because we already have our own system where we do that. Make sure that if you guys don't have any other type of system, take pictures of the car and protect your shop and your work while you're doing this. And as a procedure that Autel, as a reminder, we use Autel to do our calibrations. Other brands, the software might be a little bit different, but the process is all the same. But always make sure to protect your shop or protect whatever work you're doing. Do the pre-scan before you even start to work on the car, okay? So Fernando did the pre-scan. Now he's exiting the pre-scan menu because now he's gonna have access to the post-scan menu, okay? And as a reminder, on the post-scan menu is where you can do the ADAS calibration. You cannot do any type of calibration when you are in the pre-scan menu, okay? So that's why Fernando has to exit the pre-scan menu and get back to the post-scan menu, okay? Let me advance. It's gonna be the same thing as the pre-scan. It's gonna be loading. Let's just wait until it loads a little bit more complete. It's communicating with the vehicle. And oh, this is a good screen to show you guys. So whenever you have it working or it works, right here, I don't know if you guys can see really well, but it's saying security gateway unlocked successfully. It means that you were able to have access to the gateway server, the gateway connected with the vehicle, and you were able to pass through in order to do the diagnostics and the calibration, okay? And then it's asking for Fernando to press OK to continue. Okay, let me advance a little bit. Okay, right now, Fernando, let me just go back a few seconds. Okay, so right now, Fernando got access to the ADAS calibration screen, and he will do, as always, a fault scan to check what's going on. Scanning here. Then we have, so as you guys can see here, we have everything pass, no faults. But as I explained it, because the windshield was replaced, we will perform the calibration on this car. Even though everything looks fine, we want to make sure that the ADAS systems is working fine after the job is done, okay? So here, Fernando will type the reason why we have to do this calibration. So there are some options here. Replaced forward-facing camera module, replaced front windshield, diagnostic trouble code indicating calibration is required is present. In this case, he will type replaced front windshield, and here are some calibrations preparations that they ask you to take care before you even start to perform the calibration. So first one here is clean the front windshield, ensure the forward facing camera is unobstructed, and this is a good thing to check because sometimes you will have a problem while you're doing the calibration and then you're going to realize that it's like some dust in front of the camera or anything related to that. Adjust the tire pressure to the specified value. Ensure the gas tank is full. Yeah, and this is important because we're gonna do a dynamic calibration. Honestly, the gas tank doesn't need to be full, but it needs to have enough gas in order to perform the calibration, okay? And ensure the vehicle is not carrying any load. So if you're carrying any load, please make sure you take off the car because this is gonna change the angle that the camera is viewing, okay? And connect the diagnostic tool to the vehicle. Again, these are standard points. As you guys develop some experience, you will notice that you won't gonna like read this every time, but anytime you need and you want to make sure that you forgot something, because we're humans, we can forget to do any or other step, you go back here, read each one, and then you can make sure whatever is going wrong with your calibration, okay? So Fernando will tap OK. And here are the driving conditions that the OE requires for the calibration, but in advance, let's read a little bit of it and I will talk to you guys about this real quick. So, first of all, maintain the vehicle speed between 25 miles per hour, 40 kilometers per hour, and 74 miles per hour or 120 kilometers per hour. Drive in a straight lane without turnouts. Perform dynamic calibration in the middle lane on a road with 3 lanes and keep the vehicle in the center of the driving lane. No other vehicles on the same lane for a distance equivalent to 10 to 12 body lengths. So these are requirements that are kind of impossible if you are driving on a traffic day on a real road. But please don't be afraid to even start to do this calibration because these are the requirements for keep loading the calibration. Your camera will detect the lanes and everything else while you are matching these requirements. If you are not matching these requirements, it's not the end of the world. The, the calibration will simply stop until the moment you match the requirements again and you go back to do the calibration. So the only thing that might happen if you are not following all of these instructions is to have your process taking more time to load, but it will not stop your calibration in the middle, okay? Or you will not make your calibration fails, okay? Sorry for the mistake. So, and then here are some other things. Ensure the lane markings on both sides of the road are clear. This is good. You should always take care of it. Drive during daytime. This is good. Avoid lane change. Is it's good to not, but if you need at some point to change lanes, that's okay too. Good weather conditions should be present. Yeah, sometimes when it's raining or snowing, I don't know where you guys are performing the calibration, it's better to leave it for another time because even though they are not like 100% sensitive, there are some sensitivity while you're doing this calibration. So if you're driving this in a really bad weather, you might not be able to complete the calibration. But again, it's not the end of the world. You can always try again in another day, okay? So Fernando is tapping okay. Okay, and now the calibration will be starting to perform. And you guys will notice that on the cluster of the car, the lane sign will turn to amber and there's gonna be like an error on the cluster. Don't worry about it because in order for the camera to learn the process of calibration or detecting the lanes, it will erase what previously has learned. Okay, so Fernando right now will start the calibration, and as you guys can see, the loading bar is on 0% because he didn't even start to drive. And you will keep 0% up to the point that Fernando matches the requirements of the calibration, but will not interrupt it. Oh, and one good thing to show you guys is before this bar comes to 100%, do not tap the ask. Otherwise, you're going to corrupt the calibration and you will have to do it again, or at you might even corrupt the module. So please, whenever you start the calibration, previously make sure that you're following all the requirements. I mean, about the cleaning of the windshield, the camera, everything else, and then you start to drive and do the calibration. Always make sure that at the point you're going to start to do the calibration, everything is at place, okay? So now it will be loading. I'm going to advance a little bit because now it's only Fernando driving. So here, so as you guys can see, he's still inside the parking lot, and at the end the calibration will be performed, so he's not following the requirements of being a speed above 25 miles per hour. And I want to emphasize that just so you guys can unmystify it and not be afraid to do calibrations, dynamic calibration, because it's not like something that is too hard or too difficult to do. I can do it, Fernando can do it, you as well will be able to do it, okay? And also, if you guys have any questions related to this video, make sure you guys comment below. If you like this content, please type tap the like button, and always it's good to record for you guys, so please make sure we can interact and make this a community, okay? So Fernando will keep driving. So let's advance this a little bit. So right now I think he got access to the freeway. He's still driving the car. And at this point, as you guys can see, the calibration is at 99%, so we're almost there. Okay. A little bit. Oh, so after the calibration is successfully done, it will ask you to cycle the ignition off and then run position. Because when you finish the calibration, it's always good to redo the cycle in order to your module to communicate with the rest of the vehicle, and you will have the calibration successfully performed. So right now, Fernando is driving back to the parking lot. Let me advance this a little bit more. So right now, Fernando got to a safety park. So he turned the ignition off. He pressed OK. Now he's doing a test, and it gave calibration successfully. So Fernando is happy now. And then now, oh, and then the calibration is done. Afterwards, I believe that Fernando did a post scan. He took a screenshot. He did everything as following, and everything went great. So I hope you guys liked this video. And if you guys have any question, anything that you need assistance with, please comment below, leave a like, and make sure you, if you find this interesting, uh, tell to your friends, share this video to them, and I hope this can help you guys a lot. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, and I see you guys later. Bye bye.